Lueroi's Pokemon Black and White Walkthrough, Part 51. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I just caught the legendary Pokemon Reshiram, and you know what? I'm not even using it on my team, because I don't need legendaries to beat N and his Zekrom. I can take him on my own, because I have the best team in the Unova region. So let's go, let's do this, Team Plasma's King, N. Let's see what you got. So yeah, this guy's a lot tougher than before. Like the other 4 or so times you faced him, he wasn't too bad, but now he has this freaking legendary Pokemon. And I have to say, the best way to kill this legendary Pokemon is with the one that you just caught. But if you're dumb enough like me to not even use it in this battle, then you're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. Now, Zekrom is an electric and dragon type, so it's weak to ground, ice, and dragon, and knows Fusion Bolt, Zen Headbutt, Giga Impact, and Light Screen. If you're playing Pokemon White, you'll face Reshiram. It's essentially the same thing. It's dragon and fire. A little bit different moves as Fusion Flare, Extrasensory, Hyper Beam, and Reflect. And that Pokemon is weak to ground, rock, and dragon. Now, this Pokemon's extremely hard to knock out because it's good in all areas. It has really good attack and defense and everything like that. So I'm just gonna use Gigalith here because he can take physical hits decently well. I mean, Fusion Bolt is so powerful it's gonna knock me out quickly anyways, but I really wanted to use Stealth Rock there, and I'll explain that more in detail later, but that'll pretty much help me out a lot in this battle. And at this point, I could stick around and get myself killed, or I could go to Mr. Toad, because Mr. Toad's a ground type, and as long as he's using electric type moves, they will not work. So just like that, we get a free switch in. And since you are weak to ground, I will use Dig. And yeah, what really sucks about Zekrom and Reshiram is that they use either Reflect or Light Screen. And that makes things very difficult, because then physical or special attacks, depending on which one they use, will pretty much be worthless. But Light Screen works against special attacking moves, and Dig is physical, so it'll still do a good chunk. And check it out! Critical hit right there. Very much needed, so I can pretty much tell you I'm going to win this battle just based off that critical hit, actually. So yeah, he's going to use a Giga Impact. Now, this is Zekrom and Reshiram's main weakness. When they use Giga Impact or Hyper Beam, they will have to rest a turn. They have to recharge, and that's your chance to get in there and put a lot of damage on them. So wait for one of your Pokemon to take a lot of damage from Giga Impact or Hyper Beam, and then go right back at him and hit him as hard as you can with a super effective move. And thanks to that critical hit, we actually got rid of Zekrom super easily. That was awesome. Like, none of our Pokemon even got killed. So what up? Your legendary is down. So next it looks like he's going to go to Klinklang. Now this is a pretty interesting Steel-type Pokemon. And what I think I'm going to do here is switch out over to Imbawar. Because Imbawar is Fire and Fighting are actually both good against Klinklang. It's also weak to ground types. This Pokemon's actually, it kind of does it all. It has good attack and defensive stats, pretty fast. It knows Flash Cannon, Metal Sound, Hyper Beam, and Thunderbolt. Luckily, it's not too threatening offensively. It doesn't have very good special attack. So hit it pretty hard with like a fire or a ground type move. I'm going to use Fighting actually here, and you'll probably do about a lot of damage to it. Like I said though, it does have good defensive stats, so and on top of that, it has a whole lot of resistances, so make sure you're not using weak moves against steel types. But a move like Hammer Arm really does the trick here. In my opinion, fighting types are like the best to have for this battle, because so many of this Pokemon are weak to fighting. And holy crap, you lived with 1 hit point! I totally thought you were dead! Alright, so he's probably going to use a full restore right here. I was not even paying attention, I totally thought this thing died. I can't believe it lived with 1 hit point, but I guess I'll just use Hammer Arm again, since he's going to use a full restore. I don't know. Maybe it'll do a little bit more damage this time, because it fluctuates a little bit. But wow, that was ridiculous. I totally thought I knocked that thing out. And it did less damage that time, which is annoying. So my speed drops. What am I going to do? Okay, you know what? He already used Metal Sound, which lowered my special defense. And that's not really something I want to deal with for too long here. So I am going to switch out. And I'm just going to go over to Galvantula, just because I need someone that can kill this thing quickly. Or take a shot here, which I think I can do both. I don't really know. I don't really need Webster for anything else, so yeah, we'll just get a quick kill here. And he really only uses a full restore 1 time, so I'm not worried about it anymore. So we'll just go with the move that will hit for sure, Volt Switch. Because Thunder likes to miss, and I don't want to use Signal Beam against a Steel type, so that'll work just fine. So there we go, Klinklang's down. Pretty decent Pokemon, pretty tough to kill. So now because of Volt Switch, I have to switch back to another Pokemon. And this is actually tough, because I don't know what he's going to switch in next, so we'll just go to something reliable, like Gabbro. just to kind of test the waters, see what he's going to send in here. Oh, they actually give me the option to switch out again, which I didn't realize. So he's going to send out Zoroarok, which is a really cool Pokemon, one of my favorites. And my counter for this is Imbawar once again, because Zoroarok is weak to Fighting and Bug. Now, Zoroarok is really fast, awesome attacking stats, but it has really crappy defenses. So any super effective hit will knock it out in one hit, and really any powerful attack will do a bunch of damage to it. And those Night Slash, Retaliate, Flamethrower, and Focus Blast, so some pretty decent moves, but nothing that's going to knock out Imbawar. So I'm just going to go with a Hammer Arm here, which is super effective, should knock him out in one hit. I just need to make sure I don't get hit with a critical hit or something here. So let's go ahead, and he's going to use Focus Blast, which actually misses quite a bit. But yeah, his Night Slash is really powerful. It can get critical hits a lot, so don't send anything like a Psychic type, obviously. But yeah, Bugs actually work very well. Just watch out for that Flamethrower. It's really annoying because this thing is really fast. It can sweep your team, but you just really need to get something in there that can take one of those hits at least and then hit him back. Alright, and I am so ready for this Carracosta right here. Carracosta is 4 times weak to Grass, so we're going to go over to Jungle Gym. It's also weak to Fighting, Ground, and Electric. Now, Carracosta has this really annoying ability called Sturdy, which means it essentially automatically lives the first hit every single time, and it will live with 1 hit point left. But with the Stealth Rock damage, it essentially took a hit already, so now Seed Bomb can go ahead and knock him out in 1 hit, which you normally can't do. I did this in the last battle as well. It's a really good strategy for taking care of Pokemon like this, because if I didn't have that Stealth Rock damage, he would have lived on with 1 hit point, and then came at me with moves like Waterfall, Stone Edge, Aqua Jet, Crunch, and it would have been horrible for everybody. Now quickly here, I'm actually going to stay in and let Jungle Gym die for a second here. I'll explain that in a second. He's going to take one for the team. But yeah, when you're dealing with Carracosta, I highly recommend special attacking moves. It has super high physical defense, so physical attacks will be kind of worthless against it. It also has really good attacking power as well. Vanilluxe is a whole other story. This thing is pretty good all around. It's a good special attacker. It knows Blizzard, Hail, Flash Cannon, and Frost Breath. Now, what I just did there was use the Hyper Potion on my Imbawar, because I want him at full health for the rest of this battle. And I don't need Jungle Gym anymore, so I'm okay letting him die. So thank you for taking one for the team, Jungle Gym. You just had the most painful death ever from a Blizzard, but now that that's taken care of, we have Porky at full health once again. That's always a good strategy in the Elite Four, to heal someone up while you're letting another Pokemon die. And now that we're here right up against this thing, let's just go ahead and use a Heat Crash, and I think that'll knock him out. Hammer Arm is my go-to move most of the time, but since it's slightly inaccurate and lowers my speed, I figure I'll just knock him out with the move with less bad side effects. It never misses or anything either. And yeah, he loves to use Hail, which makes Blizzard perfect, accuracy-wise. So that's kind of annoying. Plus you have to get hit by the Hail every single turn. But Vanilluxe really struggles against Fire types, so any Fire type does the trick against it. Fighting as well, like I said, even Rock types. And it looks like we are down to his last Pokemon. It's Archeops. And I'm actually surprised, because the only Pokemon that's died is Jungle Gym, which I pretty much let die. But I'm going to go over to Gothitelle. Now, Archeops is one of the most powerful physical attackers you will ever come across, but it has one glaring weakness, and it's its ability. Once Archeops is below 50% in health, its attack and special attack are halved. So if you can get this thing past 50% health, it is pretty much worthless against you. It does know Stone Edge, Acrobatics, Crunch right there, and Dragon Claw. Really, you just need to send in a Pokemon that can live at least 1 hit like that. Then you just need to hit him with the move, get him low on health, and then he's pretty much worthless for the rest of the fight. And oh my god, you freaking died! A critical hit! I can't believe it! This battle is over. We just defeated Team Plasma's N! And I didn't even mention Archeops is weak to water, electric, rock, steel, and ice, but yeah, that was awesome! That was like the quickest ending ever. I didn't think I was going to knock him out in 1 hit, to be honest. So, now N, since you've defeated him, he starts questioning all of his ideas. He's like, maybe Pokemon and people can live together and, you know, everyone can just be happy. But then, here comes Getsus, and he's like, no, I hate you all. So he pretty much is disgusted and disgraced that N lost this battle to some random kid like me. And then we find out the truth about Team Plasma and Getsus, which is like the biggest plot twist ever. It turns out all along, Getsus is just using N and Team Plasma to kind of distract everyone, and he was gaining all this power. And all along, he wanted Pokemon and people to be free from each other so that he could raise all the most powerful Pokemon in the world and pretty much take over all of Unova in frickin' all of the world. So yeah, Getsus is this evil mastermind this entire time. I mean, we thought Team Plasma's king and was the one running the show here, but it turns out Getsus was pulling all this crap this entire time. And then everyone else shows up. It's like, yeah, guys, thanks for watching my frickin' battle, and thanks for watching me catch the legendary. Oh yeah, you guys frickin' missed that. But yeah, then Getsus is gonna go on. And pretty much at this point, we know what's coming. We know that we're going to have to fight Getsus and end this thing once and for all. So you think you've defeated the rest of Team Plasma by defeating N? Not so fast. You still got Getsus to deal with. So there's one more battle before the end of the game. And it is Getsus. So you get your team healed up. And now it's time for the final showdown.